Okay, in this video, I'm going to basically talk about what exactly is it that Barack Obama is wanting to hide on his original birth certificate, and the other subject I'm going to talk about is the whole issue of if you have questions about Barack Obama's birth certificate, then that must mean you're a racist. Have you guys noticed out there in the media they're now saying that the Obama birthers, anybody who questioned the legitimacy of Barack Obama's birth certificate, that they're now racists, or they're first it was conspiracy theorists, but now a lot of news reports are coming out in the media saying that we're racists, that that the only reason that we're questioning Barack Obama's birth certificate is that we can't accept the fact that we have a black president for the first time in United States history. Now, the funny thing about this is that a lot of the news pundits will also say if it was a white president, or even if people were running and it was, say the candidates were still in the process of running, and say, well, no one would question a white candidate. The funny thing about it is when John McCain was considered the GOP nominee in 2008, Congress actually held hearings over whether John McCain was a citizen because he was born in the Panama Canal. In any event, John McCain released his birth certificate, his original vault version birth certificate. You can now see it online, and you can tell it's authentic because it has all the details on it. It has the the doctor's signature, the witnesses, and it looks real old too. You can tell it's old. But in any event, he released it, and when that happened, the New York Times was writing reports about John McCain's birth issue, the Panama Canal. The New York Times was all over it then. We know how liberal they are, but they were all over John McCain then, and so were some of these other media outlets. Of course, but McCain dispelled that quickly because he produced his birth certificate. Now in the media, you have a circus. Okay, you have a circus because the issue here is first of all, this whole thing, this question of Barack Obama's citizenship started actually on the campaign trail. When Barack Obama's press secretary, Robert Gibbs, put the birth certificate on the internet, a lot of people started to question that. A lot of independent experts started to look at it and say, is this thing forged? Is this thing legitimate? And there's a lot of independent experts who have said, yes, it is forged. Nonetheless, even if it is an authentic certification of live birth, we can all agree that it's not an authentic long-form birth certificate. Now, that's where the issue has come to at this point. The media, for the first time in months, is all over it now, and they're basically saying that the legal document that was presented on factcheck.org is sufficient to get a passport if you bring it to the State Department. If you bring that to the State Department, then it's sufficient for all the legal things that you would need as a citizen, passport to travel, et cetera, et cetera. Look, this is just amazing because now you have people like Chris Matthews and you have Rachel Maddow, especially Rachel Maddow, who's playing this whole race card thing, that somehow, because we're questioning the constitutional eligibility of Barack Obama, somehow we're labeled as racists. I can't believe that. In a democratic republic where dissent and criticism are supposed to be actually embraced rather than discouraged, somehow the whole argument is turned into, well, you're a racist. See, this is fear-mongering on the left. See, you have the right-wing fear-mongers with terrorism and all their whole business. See, this is why I don't play the left-wing, right-wing game. That's why I don't label myself as a Democrat or Republican, because both parties, whenever someone who represents them is on the verge of maybe being in big trouble, like in this instance with Barack Obama, like, for instance, George Bush with his illegal wars, and Congress didn't even declare war, and the right then was so pissed off, and they were fear-mongering, 9/11 happened, so we have to do this, 9/11 happened, so we have to attack a country that didn't attack us anyway, and the Republicans fear-mongered then. And look, there's principles that I agree with on Democrats and Republicans, but and then there's principles that I don't agree with, but nonetheless, here's the funny thing about it. I have a lot of people commenting on my channel already saying, you're a conservative piece of shit. You're trying to make this a right-wing extremist thing. See, that's what the media has programmed people to do. The media is brainwashing a lot of the people out there, even Barack Obama supporters. Look, if you support Barack Obama's policies, fine. That's a debate for a whole different day. I don't care about Barack Obama's policies. This is not what it's about. I don't even care about his. If he wasn't a Christian, that wouldn't bug me. Okay, if he whatever all this business about him being a Muslim and stuff, it doesn't bug me at all. My deal here is do not let the fear-mongering, all of you people out there who are suspicious about Barack Obama's birth certificate, in the littlest amount, do not let the media fear-monger you on this. Because they're going to do everything they can to make anybody who questions Barack Obama's legitimacy as U.S. president, they're going to make you look like a lunatic. They're going to try to make you look like a crazy person. They're going to group you together with other crazy people. They're going to do anything to associate you with crazy people. Now, my advice to everybody out there is we got to keep putting pressure on this. This is exploding. I mean, every day I turn on MSNBC, Fox, CNN, and everybody's talking about it now. Morning Joe, Mika Brzezinski, they're all talking about this now. Even if they're making fun of it, they have to talk about it because it's everywhere. People have to deal with it. And it's not just the Republicans, it's Democrats as well. And there's Democrats, I know, I have friends now that Democrats are saying something is up. He's obviously hiding something because he hasn't even released any of his COD records or anything. So just wanted to send this message out to you. Don't believe the fear-mongering from the media.